Hello, this is Kevin.
And this is Damon, and we're implicitly biased.
Yeah. So today we want to talk about the differences that we experience in kind of our growing up, and like we said before, we came from the same area, the same town, right around the same time, within the same 5 years or so. We went to high school, around the same time and everything. But even though we were all, within a 10-mile radius of one another, we still had very different experiences growing up. So we want to talk about those. So today we're going to talk about our top 5 favorite television programs when we were growing up, or just of all times, excluding cartoons or comics, because that could be another
just live
list,
action.
right? Yeah, so actual television programs.
I'm down.
You down? All right. So
A few moments later.
hello, we're back. The Jehovah's Witness came and we witnessed to them, and now one of them is a Baptist and one's an Apostolic.
Yeah, so it's all about keeping things even.
Praise Jesus.
Okay, back to it. 5 favorite TV shows, live action.
Live action.
Yay!
We probably
Apparently, Turtle Man is on both of our lists.
Not today, but he is definitely on a list of mine. All right, go ahead, Kev.
We're gonna start at the bottom of it, and I have to throw MacGyver out there. And I throw MacGyver out there with a stipulation that I absolutely hate it now. But when I was a kid, every single day, it was Airwolf and MacGyver, and I watched it.
Well, I have had that experience when I would get home from school. I think that was right around the time that MacGyver came on at like 4 or 5 o'clock.
Something like that.
Yeah, so I can dig MacGyver, but if you hate it now, then it's not a favorite.
But I watched it every single day, so it was a favorite. It's just reality set in, and nothing that was on that show would work the way it did.
You trying to tell me you can't take a paper clip and a stick of gum and build a bomb?
No.
Really?
You need electricity as well.
Didn't MacGyver recently pass away?
No, he's still alive. He's just really old and very out of shape.
Okay.
I'm one to say anything about it.
Oh, you're MacGyver then, basically.
No.
Okay, sounds good. Well, this one is a bit different. Now, I didn't know we were going all the way down memory lane. Okay, so where I went was not so much something that I grew up with, something that a show that I encountered later on in life, and I kind of just really like, and I'm kind of surprised that I'm going to say this in front of anybody, but it's called Girlfriends. It's a show of like 4 black women who are living in LA, and they're just going through their life of love and breakups, and it's actually a great show. It's hilarious. I have the whole box set. and me and my wife watch it. I bought the box set for my grandma. She's watched it all. It's a great show. So, but I'm pretty sure you probably
I think it's completely off my radar.
Yeah, I figured as much. But maybe one day I'll let you borrow the box set and you'll fall in love too.
I might do that.
All right, what's number 4 for you?
I will do Hawaii Five-0, the reboot. I absolutely love the new series.
The one that just recently came out?
I mean, recently as in 2008, 2009.
Well, I think the last one was like in 70 whatever, so
yes.
That is still recent, 2008.
It's a pretty cool show.
Really?
Yeah.
I remember when I was a kid, when I did have cable TV, because there was most of my childhood didn't have cable TV, but when we did have cable TV, whenever Chips would come on, it was boop, it's gone, because just nothing about.
What about a police show turns you off?
We won't get into that. We won't get too in depth into that. But for seriously, whenever Chips came on, I had no interest in watching it. None whatsoever. So
I did watch that as a kid too.
Chips, the old one. Mm-hmm. So yeah, and when I heard about the new show coming out, yeah, no interest whatsoever. It just reminded me of the old Chips, and I'm like, no, thank you. I can live without it. All right. So again, my 4th one is it's kind of weird, but I like Law and Order SVU.
I think it's the better Law and Order.
Yeah, it's far better. I don't know. Just I thought they had some really good shows on there. They had some really good,
I like how they kind of kept it with semi-recent stories.
right.
And then you saw the episode and you're like, hey, that just happened
Right.
months ago.
Right.
And
Right.
they already
right.
got a show about it.
Yeah, and the acting was decent, and the stuff was believable because I think, like you said, they pulled stuff from real life, but it was believable. Like there's a lot of stuff on Law and Order that I didn't find to be very believable. I remember there was one where like this lady pretended she was pregnant because she used one of those cattle things that you stick in the cow to make it bring forth his seed. Apparently, she used one of those on a guy, got herself pregnant, claimed that he raped her, and then tried to get like money from him or whatever, some rich guy. I don't know. To me, that just doesn't sound believable. But that was on regular Law and Order. The SVU, they just have stuff that just seems much more plausible, and I liked it. I thought it was a good show. So that's my number, whatever it is, 4.
That was number 4, yeah.
All right, number 3.
3 is another semi-cop show, NCIS.
Oh yes.
I like the whole. Every team had its clique that I liked and liked at the time, and then who couldn't like a good Gibbs slap to the back of the head to
Yeah.
straighten somebody out.
Yeah.
My kids love that.
Because you probably give it to them, don't you?
Yes,
So I don't think they love it. I think that's a lie.
but they will learn from it.
Yeah, no, NCIS is it just barely missed the list because I remembered how much I like Girlfriends, and then I thought of another one from my honorable mention that is something that I like a lot too. But yeah, like NCIS is a great show. It always has been. And you know what? Another show when you say NCIS, it just popped into my mind. Jag. Did you ever watch Jag?
Jag was pretty good.
Jag was pretty decent.
I was too young when it was new to really like it, but NCS is a spinoff of Jag.
Right,
So.
right, exactly. So that's probably why it came to my mind. All right,
Number 3.
you ready for my number 3?
Let's go.
Despite the fact that my heart is broken and I'm totally, absolutely disgusted with season number 8, I have to give the third spot to Game of Thrones. It was up until season 8. It probably would, if season 8 was good, it would probably be, no, it wouldn't be number 1. It'd be number 2. It would easily be number 2, and it would be a strong contender for number 1 because that show is just fantastic. The pacing of it, everything, until it got to season 8, and I wanted to vomit.
I'm one of those in the minority that's never seen a single episode. Not one.
Let me see. I've known you for quite some time. I think I've never been more ashamed of you than I am right now.
That's okay.
Downright disappointed. My chest aches for you. I feel it in my heart, like it's beating in a way of pity. I feel pity in my
Could
heart.
be, but I didn't suffer the depression all of you people did when season 8 hit.
I want you to watch it because for no other reason than just empathy's sake. And the crazy thing is, season 8, it wasn't for lack of graphics. It wasn't for...
Except the dark episode.
No, but even I see what they were trying to go for. They were trying to show that, winter has come, darkness has fallen. They wanted to show that. I can dig that. But just everything, like how do you literally wrap... You've taken 7 seasons to get to this showdown battle with the Night King and the human beings, and you wrap it up in one show. One show. We could talk about that for an hour. I'm not going to do it. All right, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Your turn.
2, I'm going to give to The Big Bang Theory.
Oh man,
That one kind of just popped in my head. I was like, oh, that has to go on the list because, number one, I don't know that much about physics or anything of the such.
I'm a genius.
But they put it across that a guy could semi-understand it through their weirdness.
I can see how somebody who like you, who is not a genius like me,
Yeah.
could get turned off by some of our vernacular in in the physics world. But that show was dope.
It was.
And because I'm so old school or traditional or whatever. For a long time, I wouldn't watch it. I ain't watching that Big Bang Theory. I don't believe in the Big Bang Theory. All I believe is Jesus H Christ. I don't believe in none of that evolution stuff. I ain't gonna watch that crap. And then then I actually started watching. I'm like, this show's amazing. Like, man, forget all that stuff. I just want to watch more of this show. This show's great. And oh man, it's not on my list though. I kind of feel like, man, maybe I should rewrite a few things because I really like the Big Bang Theory.
Nope, you're stuck now. You got to go.
Well, I can live with that. But Big Bang Theory is a fantastic show. All right. You ready?
I'm ready. Do it.
You sure?
Positive.
All right. My number 2. Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Next Generation.
Jean-Luc Picard, Commander Worf. I mean, that's just. It's the best of the Star Treks. But man, did it just it changed the game. It was the best.
Is it the best, or is it just because that's the one you were watching at the time?
No,
I think it's the best.
No, I've
because
watched
Deep Space
all of
Nine has its merits.
Yes.
Voyager has their merits.
Yes.
But they wouldn't have happened without
without the success of The Next Generation.
Are you excited for Picard?
I am beyond excited for Picard. I'm thinking about actually ordering or subscribing to the CBS little channel just so I can watch it, just like I did for Game of Thrones, and then kick HBO out.
Get out of here.
But I'm thinking about subscribing to it because I'm so stoked, and there's no other way for me to watch it unless I actually get cable TV, and I ain't doing that. So, man, I'm thinking about actually jumping on the bandwagon because I am so stoked about Picard. And I've watched all of the. Well, I watched most of the original one with Captain Kirk growing up as a kid because my mom was a Trekkie, and I was always frustrated because I wanted to watch the Care Bears or what's the other one? Ninja Turtles. I always wanted to watch those.
Absolutely.
And she was always trying to watch Star Trek, so I hated it back then. But when I got older, and it was always coming on the TV, and I was always frustrated late at night when I wanted to watch something, and that was the only thing on because it would come on at during the summer, it would come on at 1 in the morning. So finally I started watching it, and man, did I fall in love. And ever since then, I've been a Trekkie, and then I've watched them all. I didn't like the new Enterprise. Did you ever see that one?
I didn't because I couldn't take it seriously because the guy from Quantum Leap was the captain. And I was like, so he quantum leaped all the way to the future.
Exactly.
So
him, and then there's another one that recently came out. It's even later with the girl from The Walking Dead.
Yes.
And I haven't watched that one because it's on one of those streaming systems, so I haven't been able to watch that one.
And I got sucked into it because in 6th grade, my science teacher would show those every once in a while. And then he started a Star Trek club at the school, and we had to do clubs. And I was just like, I might as well just jump in there. And it was pretty cool then.
That's amazing. I'm a Trekkie all the way. I wish. I'm glad that they're doing another Picard, and I'm so stoked about it. All right, did you do your number 2 already?
Yes. Number 1. And this is mostly number 1 because it's probably my number 1 most repeated series, and that's Firefly. There's only 1 season of it, but
it's kind of easy to repeat the season when there's only 1 season.
But it's just that good to me. And it's one of those shows that we all wanted to have a second season, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 7th, 800th season, but it also doesn't need it. Because they wrapped up a story pretty decently, and then they came out with the movie afterwards, Serenity, and did what it needed to do. But I will forever watch that season over and over and over again.
What was it? Because I'm kind of a geek when it comes to so many other areas, I see it all the time. I see it on people's top whatever list or whatever on online, the best sci-fi shows. But I just still have not had any desire whatsoever to watch it. I've never watched it.
I think you should watch it like you want me to watch Game of Thrones.
Maybe Game of Thrones is good though.
So is Firefly.
Okay, maybe
the actors that are in it are top-notch actors. I mean, you got Nathan Fillion, and you got
that person.
You got Vision and
Oh,
and Hey Hey from Moana. I'm sorry if you're watching this. I know you won't, but
Vision. What's his name? The guy that
Alan Tyduck. That's his name.
That's his name.
That's his name.
Oh, I would have never got that.
He's on there, and he's amazing as the pilot of the Firefly,
Okay, cool.
or of the Serenity, not a Firefly, the Firefly class ship.
I have no idea what you're talking about. So you could have said it, and I'd have been like, "Oh, great! That's a
But
great."
they know, and they're judging us, so we got to tell them the right stuff.
Say that I've been judged on my
Numero 1.
For me, drum roll. This is the best show that has been put out on public television ever.
Mr. Rogers.
Okay, this is the second best show that's been put on television ever. Sanford and Son.
Bam, 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 out.
Seriously, that's my favorite. I have a hard time watching stuff over and over again, but that's one of the shows where I can watch it, even though I know what he's going to say. There's something about the way he delivers it, the way his face looks when he's doing it, and I can just watch that show over and over again. I love that show to my core. Have you ever watched it?
I have watched it. I didn't get sucked into it, but because my family is more Three's Company. Surprise!
Yeah.
But it was probably on TBS or something around the same time that Three's Company came on, so I've watched it
Right.
multiple times.
Yeah. That's hands down my favorite show.
And then that was a spin-off of
No.
the other one, wasn't it?
No, that's the Jeffersons. The Jeffersons was a spin-off of All in the Family.
Okay. But Stanford and Son was...
I don't think it was
It's
a
on its
spin-off.
own.
It's just
Stanford and
standalone.
Son.
They tried to have other spin-offs of Sanford and Son, like Grady and stuff like that, one of his friends. But no, the Jeffersons, which is another great show. I wish I could put on my... If I had a top 10 list, quite a few more of these things would probably be on it. But no, the Jeffersons is a great show. And All in the Family is actually a great show.
It's fantastic.
It's freaking hilarious. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, they say this, but it ain't no
The
worse
weird thing about All in the Family is I started watching the cop show where the guy from All in the Family was the sheriff.
Oh, In the Heat of the Night.
In the Heat of the Night. I watched that first because parents watched it.
Right.
And then I saw him on All in the Family, and I'm like,
what happened?
sheriffs can't say that.
Right. Well, my mom was 100% In the Heat of the Night fan. Oh my gosh, I think she has the box sets of In the Heat of the Night, going way back. She loves that show.
Something I think both of us appreciate. What do you feel about the Golden Girls?
I'll be honest. I've only actually watched about 3 episodes of it, and it's funny. Like, the show's good, the ones I've seen. But if we're just being 100% honest, me as a young kid, a show of a bunch of old white hairs ladies, I was like, boop. And it's for no reason other than it just didn't seem like it would appeal to me.
Mm-hmm.
And only when I got older did I like, oh, okay, let me look and see and it's great.
Yeah,
it was a great show, funny stuff, but just like, what our show is about is implicit bias. Just that bias just cropped up, and I'm like, I'm not watching no old ladies and a bunch of white ladies, pale faced.
Pale faced.
Yeah,
They were very pale.
Well, because if you say white, people might get offended.
I don't.
People get offended when you use certain terminologies nowadays. So I'll use pale face.
Okay.
They'll probably get mad about that too.
Probably more than being called white.
You think so?
Probably.
Okay.
Did your mom ever watch Designing Women?
What?
Okay.
I never even heard of that. What is that?
Terrible. I got sucked in. It was on the same time as Golden Girls.
Really?
Designing Women.
What is it? What was it even the premise?
I don't remember. My mom watched it, and I was like, I'm like, nope, I'm out. Bye. Time to go get skinned up outside or something.
Well, when I was a kid, believe it or not, and I'm only 32, but when I was a kid, I remember at the end of the night, the flag would be like boom, 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 and then the screen would go boo.
Oh yeah.
At the end of the night, like it would,
Yeah.
the TV would actually go off. And so I remember, like, during those times when I was really young, though. This is when I was really, really young. And I used to be so upset because like I was like, well, now we can watch Oprah, because when I wanted to watch a cartoon, it's the same time Oprah was coming on, and my mom and them wanted to watch Oprah, and then when she would go off, then my cartoon would be off at the same time. And so I don't know why I just thought about that, but at the end of the night, I remember like sitting in my room, and I would be like, I was sitting in the living room, like, man, I wish Oprah was on right now. I could definitely watch some Oprah, because the TV went off. There was nothing. That's all you had.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's funny. Oh, we got honorable mentions. Let's see what we has here. You want to go first?
Yeah, I'd like to throw Chuck out there. Chuck was fantastic. Chuck was basically a Best Buy employee bumped into a spy and got downloaded with his skills, his knowledge, his tactics, and he became, it was basically Jason Bourne, but in sitcom form.
Huh.
That and The Office. As stupid as The Office is, I've never sat down and watched the whole season.
Really?
But every time it's on, I'm just like, I get sucked into it because it's so stupid, but so funny.
Really? I've never watched one episode of The Office.
You're not missing much, but at the same time, you're missing some of the best dry humor
Right.
to ever hit the secondary American airwaves, because we stole it from England and
Right. Well, you know, for some reason we were talking about stuff in what popped into my mind for some reason. Do you ever watch La Femme Nikita?
I did way back in the day.
Yeah.
It was one of those late night shows that was on
Exactly.
USA, and I was like, ooh.
Yeah. And I would want to watch it, and then I don't think I actually ever did. I just know I was like, ooh, I'm gonna watch that because she looked hot, and I was like, yeah.
And they've tried to reboot it a couple times. It never took off. It wasn't a good premise.
I don't even know what the premise was. I know she was in red and she looked really hot.
I would think it was kind of like a Black Widow thing. She was a super spy, super killer person, but I don't really remember.
There was I know I need to get to my honorable mention, but I used to like to watch Psych, where the
Psych was fantastic.
It was freaking hilarious.
My friend actually, they got married in the government building that Psych is based around.
Really?
In Santa Barbara, California.
Really?
Yeah. So that was a cool wedding.
Yeah, that's pretty dope. Psych, and then obviously Monk. You ever
Monk
watch
was fantastic.
Monk is great with Tony
Tony
Shalhoub.
Shalhoub.
Oh man, it was actually great. It's probably one of the better detective shows, just because of how well, his acting was phenomenal.
Absolutely.
His acting was phenomenal. Just the way he would get grossed out, it was just awesome. Because it's kind of some of the stuff you want to, when you got to touch something disgusting. I mean, the stuff he's touching is not so bad, but when you want to touch something disgusting, I probably would react in a similar fashion. So I don't know. All right, my honorable mention: Blackish.
Blackish was fantastic.
Blackish.
You talked to me into watching that.
Yeah, and I had to pull your arm.
And I was very apprehensive.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not allowed to watch this type of thing. And then every time he was in the boardroom with all his coworkers and like the boss is doing his thing, I'm like, well, at least I'm not that guy.
That show is hilarious, and I was in the same boat as you. And my implicit bias, I'm like, I'm not gonna watch a show called Blackish. And I know that may sound weird, like, oh, you're black, why wouldn't you? Because I'm like, it's got the ish on there, so it's not quite black, or I don't know.
It's not full black.
Yeah, something about it just turned me off. I'm like, I'm not going to watch Blackish. Either they're going to be extremely ghetto and they're going to try to show an extremely ghetto side, or they're going to be too whitewashed and it's not going to portray how black people's really, it's not going to portray how black people's really are. But they do it masterfully. It's a really good show.
I like how so he's a successful black man.
Right.
And doesn't hold back at all from that.
Right.
And they don't try to say he's a successful black man. He's a successful man.
Right.
Who happens to be black, and
right.
the interactions he has in that connotation of it, which is pretty good.
Right.
And it's not just he's the only successful one. His wife is successful.
Right.
They do throw the ghetto in there with both their parents.
Right, which is beautiful.
Her mom is crazy, and his dad is Lawrence Fishburne doing that crazy old man dad. Oh.
It's fantastic. And I think that's what I like so much about it is you still get enough of the real backwater black folk perspective, but then, like you said, when you go to the boardroom, you get this extremely whitewashed,
Yes.
like perspective, Marilyn Manson almost sometimes perspective, and then it's really good. And then you have the core of the show is kind of in that middle area where we all really live, that kind of gray area where we're all not extremely right, we're all not extremely left, we're all kind of live in that middle area, and I think that's why that show is so successful.
I think so too.
Because it appeals to most of it. I mean, I'm not a rich or a well-off person, but other than that, it's like the new Huxtables.
Yeah,
He's-
kind of.
they're the new Huxtables.
Kind of a more realistic Huxtable. To me.
Right, absolutely, and I agree with that. Yeah, definitely a more real. Not to say that you couldn't have the Huxtables, but they were almost too good.
Yes.
Like there was like not really any controversy.
It was like the Fresh Prince of Beverly Hills before Will got there. They were too
Bel
perfect.
Air,
What did I say?
Beverly Hills.
Yeah, Bel Air. Yes.
Gee, Monetti. But yeah, you're right.
Yes.
Yeah.
He got there and added real world to it.
Right.
I agree with that. I see that. So, that's our 5 favorites plus some.
Plus some.
We're done.
We out this
Peace.
place. Hello, this is Kevin.
This is Damon.
We're Implicit Bias.
We're implicitly biased. Start.